Talk Nation, salute, man. Welcome back, everybody, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody, man. Hope your New Year's has started off to an excellent and prosperous start. But let's talk about the Eagles, man, because the Eagles seem to be the talk of the town. Everybody from Yahoo Sports to ESPN, everybody is talking about the Eagles, man, and how our season ended. Did we tank? Possibly. Did Doug Peterson, give that game away to Ron Rivera? My own personal opinion on that one, I think so. I could be wrong, I could be right, but let's start off with Coach Doug Peterson. Since Doug Peterson has been the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, every year we generally have went to the playoffs. We have won one Super Bowl in 2017, 18, 19, pretty okay seasons. You know what I'm saying? 2020, abysmal. Now, moving forward, should Doug Peterson be replaced as head coach? I'm still kind of out to lunch on that one. But I will say I've had the conversation that if Doug Peterson is replaced as head coach, my personal pick, top pick for him to be replaced is Deuce Staley. I think Deuce will be the perfect head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think our run game will be more significant, and I believe our passing game will become more balanced. And being as though Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback, I think the plays that Deuce Staley can draw up for him to utilize his legs will be not only explosive but extremely effective. Now, going back to Coach Doug Peterson, Coach is very adamant about he does not want to relinquish basically calling the plays for the offense. Now, I disagree with that. But some of the acquisitions as far as coaching that the Eagles have bought in really haven't been, in my opinion, successful. And the proof of that is looking at how the season progressed. Look at how we ended the season. Because although Doug Peterson is the head coach of that team, as far as his staff, you guys have an obligation to make sure that he stays on the correct path. Now, I don't know if secretly Coach Doug Peterson probably wants a whole bunch of yes men around him and nobody's standing up to him. But me personally, if I'm on the staff and I'm looking at how this season and this team is shaping up, I gotta pull him to the side and we gotta really have a serious conversation about the decisions that's being made, whether it's from ownership, Jeffrey Lurie, down to the GM, Howie Roseman, down to the head coach, Doug Peterson. And for all of those areas need to be visited and we need to have a sit down with all of these different guys, then so be it. Because the way the season ended, the way the team looked, the extreme regression of Carson Wentz, something is happening within that franchise. I don't know if it's the onset effects of the coronavirus pandemic that really kind of ravaged the season for a lot of teams. Some teams elevated, some teams, although it affected those teams, they still elevated and they still executed and are having good seasons. And to be honest with you, the fact that teams have done that, it kind of shows that the teams that struggled, it may show some deficiencies in those teams. You know what I'm saying? Some, whether it's players, whether it's coaches, guys really are going to have to really go introspective on this one and really look within and say, okay, how is this affecting me? How is this affecting my job? And if it is, maybe you need to sit down with somebody and you talk to somebody and you address these issues so you can get better, stronger, and move on. Now, Doug Peterson, if he is able to stay on as head coach, and I believe that it's kind of 50-50, because taking everything into account, I believe ownership probably will give him another chance because, this season is kind of, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a preseason due to the pandemic, and with the young talent coming in, it was very imperative that they did have those reps, that they did have those games. And being as though we did not have them, they couldn't properly execute, especially initiating the season. I said this a long time ago, man. Like those first like 4 to 5 games of the regular season are going to be like preseason games because of the personnel, because of how guys had to catch up and acclimate to these new rules and basically this new climate called, you know what I'm saying, the quote unquote COVID-19 pandemic within the NFL as a whole, and how it affected the world is one thing, but how it affected the organization and different franchises is something totally different. And we've seen the repercussions of that. Now, Carson Wentz, you always respect your quarterback. You always have faith in your quarterback. You always want your quarterback to succeed. But when Nick Foles was the quarterback and he led the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl, I said this: he should be the quarterback. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the synergy between him and Coach Doug Peterson was not only undeniable, it was also unmistakable. And I believe that they made a grave error when they decided to move on from Nick Foles, because they felt as though the insecurities of Carson Wentz would have been too high. He wouldn't have been able to, quote unquote, coexist in that ecosystem, as far as Nick Foles being the number one quarterback and he being the number two, because the way that he was drafted. I said that. Now, it's pretty much proven to be true that possibly they made a mistake by giving him all that money. At the time, maybe he was the best quarterback on the market. That's all they had. That's all they could find. So they chose to invest in him. And don't get it twisted. I mean, Carson Wentz is a good quarterback. Look at the season that he had, like I said, in 2017, before he got injured. And Nick Foles, he came in and basically cleaned it up. Now, it was very impressive the season that Carson Wentz had. But for a backup quarterback to come in and finish off and cap off the rest of that season the way that Nick Foles did and win a Super Bowl on top of that, I think that kind of, in my opinion, I think that kind of overshadowed just a bit what Carson Wentz did. And I believe that's another reason why they chose to do what they did. And you have to take not only the emotion out of it, but you really have to toughen these guys up, because Keyshawn Johnson said that quarterbacks are very sensitive. And that's true. Just like they say wide receivers are prima donnas. You know what I'm saying? It's like different roles as far as on the team. You know what I mean? They have different identities. Now, with the quarterback, it ain't nothing wrong with being, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit sensitive. You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, you got to be tough. You are the leader of men on that field. And that's one of the things that impressed me about Jalen Hurts, because although he is a rookie, although he may be young, he still has that quality of being a leader of men. You can tell the way that he speaks, the way that he is poised. When he's asked certain questions, he always tries to be not only optimistic, but, you know what I'm saying, speak from a projection of wisdom, although he is a young guy. And I have a little saying: wisdom has no age, only a purpose. So it doesn't matter how young he is, you know what I'm saying, for somebody to be insightful and speak with wisdom. It doesn't matter how old you are. That's one of the things that impresses me about Jalen Hurts' game, and the way that he approaches the game, sees it, and speaks about it. Now, Carson Wentz, he has some decisions to make, because I believe that a lot of his quote-unquote hang-ups are mental. And those mental deficiencies is what pretty much shattered this season for him. And in turn, it shattered the team's season. I mean, the fact that they kept him playing as long as they did, that's what hurt this season. That's what hurt the season. Not the pandemic, not the virus, none of that. The fact that they kept Carson Wentz in the game playing when they should have pulled him out a long time ago, that's what hurt the season. And you can't expect Jalen Hurts to come in and by 4 or 5 games just turn everything around, which he pretty much almost did. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been just a repetitive nature, you know what I mean? Another backup quarterback coming in and saving the team. And it's almost kind of like they kind of set Jalen Hurts up, you know what I'm saying, to kind of play in that narrative, but also fail in that narrative. Because if he would have done so, then it would have been no equivocations about you having to get rid of Carson Wentz. He would have had to go because that's showing you that two backup quarterbacks came in and saved this season when the number one guy has faltered. Now, I understand if you get hurt, there's certain mental barriers, you know what I'm saying, as far as you getting back up on that horse, man, and riding off into the sunset. But if you are the quarterback of that team, you have to show that mental toughness because the guys feed off of that. And if there's any weakness there, if there's any confusion, the guys are receptive to that. You know what I'm saying? It's circumventing to the rest of the team. And you can't have that, man. That weakness is like a virus. So that's why when Jalen Hurts came onto the field, as they said, he was the spark that the Eagles needed. And that's what he gave them. So looking at the game plan, looking at the season, looking at everything from fresh eyes, Jalen Hurts came in there and he performed quite well. Quite well. Matter of fact, better than a lot of people thought. To the extent of when those games was over, you seen the opposition coming up. Hey, good job, rookie. Giving them the pat on the back, the whole 9 yards. That's what I'm talking about. Because you can't deny greatness, man. You can't deny quality. I mean, you can, but as they say, real recognize real. And if you true, if you are really real about it, you dig what I'm saying? You can't deny it, man. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, why hate? And the young guy is extremely talented. His ceiling is still extremely high. So the fact that he is very mobile and he is also proven, you know what I'm saying, Eagles fans, that he could also throw the ball exceptionally well. And he still have room to get even better. So moving forward, will Carson Wentz be here or will Jalen Hurts be here? I said this a long time ago. Carson Wentz is the quarterback that the Philadelphia Eagles have, but Jalen Hurts is the quarterback that the Philadelphia Eagles need. Now, will they push that button? Carson Wentz already said the relationship between him and Doug Peterson theoretically is quote-unquote fractured. Now, some say it's hearsay, some say it came right from the horse's mouth. We shall see as the off-season progresses, and we'll see if he asks for a trade, and then we'll know that it was the truth. Now, Zach Ertz. Now, first of all, let me salute and give nothing but respect to Zach Ertz. I like Zach Ertz. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's been in the, not only with the Eagles, I mean, since his inception, but he's been with this franchise and been in that city for 8 years. That's a long time. You know what I'm saying? That's a very long time to be or to do anything, to anything. And his family has migrated to the city of Philadelphia. He has charity organizations rooted in the city of Philadelphia. Him as a player and as a person and as a citizen is rooted in the city of Philadelphia. And the things that Zach Ertz has done on the field, you really can't deny it. He is definitely going down in the Eagles Hall of Fame, period. Now, the emotion that Zach Ertz showed pretty much shows you how important it is and what it means to be a player in the city of Philadelphia. He was super emotional. Him and maybe a couple of other guys were the last to walk off the field after the Washington game because, and I think it's more than the fact that the way that we lost, it's because possibly they may not be back. And if they may not be back, the way for them to lose like that, I think that hurts even more. And it would have been more hurtful to keep that emotion inside opposed to letting it out. So that's why you saw the emotion that you saw from Zach Ertz And it does not mean in the slightest that he is weak. Because if you think just because that he shed tears for that city, for the game that he loves, and if you think that's a sign of weakness, then you truly do not know strength. So I give nothing but praise and respect to Zach Ertz and his family, because what he has done as far as contributions on the field for the city of Philadelphia and for the Eagles, not only you cannot take that back, but that cannot be replaced, even though he can be replaced, because that's the game of football. But as they say, great players leave Philadelphia, they go off and they flourish in different environments with other teams. You look at Malcolm Jenkins, they should have never let Malcolm go, but they did. And he wound up with the Saints. And where's the Saints right now? On their way to the playoffs. So if Zach Ertz is no longer a part of the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward, which I hope he remains with the team and in the city, but I believe wherever he goes, he's not only going to be productive, but he will continue to set and reach the goals that he has set forth for himself as a player. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets to a certain point in your game as a player that if you are quote unquote a seasoned veteran, you have to set these goals. It becomes more than just going out there and playing. Now, I believe he was about 20 some catches off from I forgot the Hall of Fame veteran's name for completing those catches to beat his record. And with this season, like I said, with Dallas Goedert and just with the other acquisitions as far as receivers on the field, it was kind of tough for him to reach that goal. And I was kind of looking forward to him reaching and setting that goal moving forward. But as it stands, we really don't know if he's going to be back next season. Now, like I said, Zach is invested. He has property in the city. He's not like some players, like they may live XYZ I guess on the off season or whatever. No, he lives in the city, you know what I'm saying, of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? So you gotta respect that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, he's all in. He's fully invested. And like I said, with his charitable organizations, he's continuously giving back also to the city. So salute to Zach Ertz. I hope he will be back in Eagles green. If not, we wish him nothing but success, love, and fortune, and progress, and prosperity, and with whatever endeavor that he chooses to go to moving forward. So, last but not least, the rookie, Jalen Hurts. Now, when we got Jalen Hurts, a lot of people was wondering why did they draft another quarterback? Why? Are they trying to send a message to Carson Wentz? Is something wrong? Guess what, Eagles fans? And I said this a long time ago. If they drafted Jalen Hurts, it's a reason why they did it. Now, it could have been something internal, which is still maybe the case, that people really don't know about, didn't know about, really wasn't talked about. They really kept that one close to the chest, kept that one in the vault, because they didn't want that cat to get out of the bag. And as the season progressed, what happened? You saw the extreme regression of Carson Wentz. Now, it may have been something going on. Now, I really don't honestly know if it was really the COVID factor, because like I said, Carson Wentz was also a new father, and him making the decision to not opt out and continuing to play, that may have been a decision possibly that he was forced into making. I don't know if it was from his family. I don't know if it possibly was from ownership or from the coaching staff. But looking how the season played out, it looks and feels as though that his mind was really never in the game from the beginning of the season. And I think that he probably would have been better off opting out. And from the inception, Jalen Hurts would have been better off starting for the Philadelphia Eagles. And looking how he came in those last 4 or 5 games, if he was the starting quarterback coming into the season, I believe the Eagles would be in the playoffs. I believe the first few games might have been a little bit rocky because he would have been nervous. He would have had to acclimate to the game, to the speed. But I truly do believe he would have got it together. And not only he would have got it together, but he would have excelled. And the team would have been a totally different team from the beginning of the season. And hypothetically speaking, let's just say if they didn't reach the playoffs, I will say we would have had a better record than we have had to date. We would have won more than 4 games. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts moving forward, to be honest with you, some people may not agree, but I hope he is the quarterback moving forward. Howie, if he chooses still to be there, I believe that probably will be the last significant, I guess, situation that he gets us out of. You know what I'm saying? But there are teams out there who could possibly pick Carson Wentz up. Some people are saying the Colts. My personal opinion, and I haven't heard people talk about it, but I said I wouldn't be surprised if Carson Wentz probably ends up with the New England Patriots, because you look at what's going on with Cam Newton, his future at this point really doesn't look like it's solidified in New England. And with their offense, the way that they are designed and built to protect the quarterback, I think that's a situation that would be perfect for a quarterback like Carson Wentz to flourish and thrive. So if it's if it's Indy or if it's the Patriots, I think both of those teams he will probably excel at. Now, Jalen Hurts, with the mobile quarterback era kind of being present, with your Russell Wilsons and your Deshaun Jacksons, you know what I'm saying, and so forth and so on, your Kyler Murrays. He also showed you when they played the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, you know what I'm saying, not only how competitive that he can be going against a quarterback of that nature, because they just barely lost that game. You know what I'm saying? That was an excellent game, by the way. But moving forward, having a fresh season, having a fresh start, you know what I'm saying? There's no equivocations about, okay, am I starting? No. From Jump Street, you are the man. You are the man. Now, who would you have to back him up? Because Carson Wentz is also, quote unquote, came out saying that he doesn't, or he would not like to be the backup to Jalen Hurts. And I'm sorry, but Nate Sudfeld has to go. So at this point, you will have to bring in possibly another veteran quarterback to be a backup to Jalen Hurts. And I think that would be a lot easier than a lot of people presume it to be. So Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, has a bright future. You know what I'm saying? He's very smart, very talented. He's willing to learn. He wants to put in the work. After the game's victories, especially, his key thing that he wanted to get back out there, not only on the field, but on the practice field, and continue to work, continue to grind, continue to try to get better. What more can you ask from a young quarterback? And he's highly coachable. So the narrative moving forward, if Doug Peterson is the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe that Jeff Lurie may give him another chance as far as giving him another season. If things don't work out, he's out of there. Now, if he decides to cut him loose right off of the bat, you'll see that breaking news moniker. I believe, in my opinion, Deuce Staley should get the nod. He should get that chance. And I believe that moving forward, that will be a very, very not only pivotal move as far as the success of the Philadelphia Eagles, and also let's just shake up the GM department. I had this conversation with one of my subs just yesterday. I think that Seth Joyner should be considered as GM for the Philadelphia Eagles. Think about it. Because with the passion that he has showed, you know what I'm saying, with the wisdom that he has showed, I think that's needed. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody that's going to make tough decisions, take the emotion out of it, do what's best for the players and the franchise and the fans. Period. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we do get a little bit too emotionally invested and we wind up keeping guys around when we should let them go. Now, it's different ways, man, that you can, you know what I mean, separate from your veteran guys. And it doesn't have to be in a negative way, you know what I'm saying, or in a bad way. You can part ways and still be positive and possibly, who knows, you know what I'm saying, bring them back in a couple of years if they still playing and they could end their career, excuse me, in Philly. But if they are hurting the progression of the team because they are older, they get hurt, you know what I'm saying, a little more often than they should be because of their age, preparation, or whatever, then it may be time to move on. So, Eagles fans, this season is not a season of a lot of fruitful memories, but at the same time, not all seasons will be. We will learn from this season. Why? Because we have to. In order for us to get better and move forward, we have to learn from this season. We have to learn from all the mistakes. We have to learn from the decisions and choices that we have made. Now, will Coach Doug Peterson still be here? We don't know, but if he is, he has to shape up or he will be shipped out. Will Carson Wentz still be here moving forward? We don't know, but if he is, he has to shape up or he will get shipped out. I definitely know Jalen Hurts will be here because he could potentially be the future of this franchise moving forward. Shout out to Duke Staley. I see you, Coach. So, Eagles fans, until the next one, just do me a favor, man. Stay blessed, stay humble, stay motivated, protect yourself at all times, guard up, mask up, because it's a war going on outside and none of us is safe from it. Eagles forever. Peace.